Hello and welcome to part 4 of our series on the excellent Yamaha Smart Pianist app, and this time we are going to be looking at the song section within the app. Have a look at the screen here. As you'll see, we're on the home page at the minute, or piano room, but I'm going to open up the top left, that little box of 4 squares there, and we're going to go to the song section just there, because in the song section there's loads and loads of things to look at to do with learning to play. The songs are on this app and on the pianos to teach you how to play them and of course perform along with them as well. But I should say, before we get going, firstly, if these videos have been helpful to you so far, give us the thumbs up. Press the thumbs up icon directly below the video. It really helps an independent store like us get seen here on YouTube. Now, the other thing to say about the song section on the Smart Pianist app is the amount of songs you'll see in the library, as you can see on the screen there, will vary depending on the model of piano or keyboard that you're using. The Clavinova range, whether it be CLP, CSP, CVP, will have quite a large selection, but some of the lower end series like the Arius and the P series won't have such an in-depth collection of songs, or indeed, if they do have songs, they won't have the instrumentation that you're going to hear on what I'm using today, because I'm using the CSP 275, one of Yamaha's smart pianos, which has got an extensive collection. So let's get into it, shall we? As you can see here in the song section, we have down the left hand side of the screen where it says song select. I'm going to skip over favorites but go into the presets here, and we've got 50 popular. That's what's loaded up at the moment in orange, and on the main part of the screen here you can see we've actually then got subcategories along the top. We've got pop, we've got standard, we've got folk. Now let's just start off by giving you an idea of what these are all about. Okay, what I can do if I want is I can pick one of these songs and press play, and it will play the song essentially all the way through. But I'm going to give you an idea of what they sound like on this model, because there's a lot of instrumentation, drums, bass, synth, everything, guitar, and they sound great. So let's have a look at this one, shall we? Final countdown. And I'm going to press load it up there, and then press this play button on the bottom. Okay, and I might go to something completely different, but let's say Billy Joel. Okay, so what we're actually hearing is a whole arrangement of the song. We've got the drums, the bass, guitars, everything for these songs, but it gets a lot better than that, because this is about teaching you how to play them, and there's a number of different ways that this app can do that for you, and that's what we're going to get into here. Just a quick tour down the left hand side of the screen here. So we've got the popular ones there, we've then got the classical ones as well, which are mostly just piano arrangements. We also have across the subcategories in the classics section, the duets and original compositions. These 50 pieces of music are the ones that are most likely built into the Yamaha CLP models, if you're using those, or indeed the Arius ones as well. In lessons, we have the Bayer and the Bergmuller and the Cerny ones, practice pieces, which are pretty standard with piano lessons, just to teach you how to use sort of basic notation and right hand, left hand control. It's really useful to have those built in here, because if you are, or your child of yours perhaps is having piano lessons, it's likely their teacher, assuming they're formal piano lessons, will be using those particular pieces to help them progress. Bonus songs is an interesting section, because quite nicely each time you turn the app on, you get a nice little surprise every now and then that says a bonus song has been added to your collection courtesy of Yamaha. Demo songs is just a little collection of demonstration songs, mostly for use actually for us in the showroom here at ePianos. Music library is a really interesting one, and I'm going to come back to it later on, and I've got a separate video that deals with this in more detail, but it's actually one of the best things about this entire app. I won't go into it now, but it's it's really great at the way that it makes the piano your own, and I mean your own, i.e. tailored to your specific musical likes. User songs is just where you keep your own songs for your recordings or what have you. But let's go back now and get stuck into how exactly we can load up a song and learn to play it. So what I'm going to do is go through here and pick this lovely song, Hallelujah by Leonard Cohen, and there's a Jeff Buckley version which has really popularized this song. But let me play a little bit just to give you an idea of what it sounds like. Okay, so you might well be familiar with that particular song. This is where it starts to get interesting, because I've selected the song in orange just here, but if I double tap it, watch what happens. Aha! Now things are starting to get interesting, aren't they? Because we have here a musical score. In fact, your one might well look a little bit more like this at the moment, because this is the standard sizing for the notation for the score. We're looking at a musical score on the screen here of the song, and if I were to press play, it would start playing along here. In fact, just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do that again here to show you the process of how it displays music. With a book, of course, we'd turn the page as we go along, but it works a little differently with an app like this. I can indeed swipe to the right and that goes on to the next bars, but if we're using the play along feature, then this little orange bar that you're looking at that's at the top of the stave at the moment, that's going to move along by itself too. But watch what happens. Do you see it says number 1, bar number 1 on the top left, just above that, above the first bar, and then it goes down to bar 4 here and bar 7 there, so it's going in threes, and as I press play it will move along, but when it gets to the second one, what will happen is the next bar will appear at the top as it works its way through. Watch. Okay, so you can see it there. That's gone to bar number 10 now. So it's going to continue down here with bar 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 is then at the top again. So it's constantly kind of cycling through to the next bar for you as we go. So let's have a look on the left-hand side now. And we've got the name of the song just here and the artist. We've also got the bar position here. That's what this slider is. I can move that all the way to the latter end of the song if I want, or I can just slide it all the way to the left, and that returns us to the beginning of the song. Below the slider just there, we've got these controls, which are the play, the fast forward and the back. The fast forward ones go bar by bar, as you can see, flicking forward like that. But where this starts, some of the practical tools for learning come into play here are this next button here, next to the fast forward button that says A, some A, and there's a little circular arrow and B. This is to help you learn a particular section, and it'll play it on repeat for you. Okay, so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm just going to concentrate in this video on learning my right hand alone, for those of you out there that are just learning to play melody with the right hand. And I've actually got some unnecessary things on the score here. I've got the bass clef, the left hand parts, and I don't want those. So what I'm going to do is go up to the settings on the top right, which is that picture on the top right of the screen of a musical note and some cogs, and go to the score section on the left, and I'm going to first of all change the size of the score to large, and I'm also going to take away the left hand part and press done. So now what we're looking at firstly is a larger picture of the score, but also just the right hand. So if you're focusing on just your right hand, then this is ideal. Now coming back to the left of the screen, what I want to do with this A and B is tell the app which part I want to learn. So I'm going to move the bar, and I can do it by touching the screen as well, but I'm going to move it to there, and then I'm going to press A, B, and you'll notice it makes that little line. So this is just giving us the bookends, if you will, of the part of the song that we want to learn. And I'm going to let it play on, and when it gets to the bit that I want it to stop and then recycle, going over to loop round, I'll press A, B again. And there we go. Okay, I'm just going to pause it there. So what that clicking is it's now going to only play between those two orange bars. But each time I press play, it's going to give me that count in as well. Okay, so here we go. So I can then play, read the notation and play along with the music. However, if you're a beginner or you're thinking about a child that's learning to play that's still right at the beginning, then you still might be thinking, well, hang on, they don't even read notes. This is still going to be no good for them. That's where this next button comes in handy, and it's called a guide. Just here, do you see it on the left-hand side? Next to A and B, there's guide. And this is a clever little device where, as we're going along here, we won't move on to the next note until we've actually played the right note on the piano. Okay, so it's great for learning to play, for getting your head up at the music and looking at it, and it'll only move on when you play the right note. And if you're playing a CSP, Yamaha CSP, or indeed the PS500 in the P series, you've got this panel, and I'm not sure whether you can quite see it from this angle, but you've got a panel where you have LED lights falling down above the keys, a little bit like Guitar Hero for playing piano. And this is a fantastic visual aid on the Yamaha CSP series. But here we go. So I'm going to put guide on, and then I'm going to press play. And until I play the right note, this will happen. You hear that? So everything is paused. It's not going to go on until I've played the right note. And the other thing you might have seen me do there is I've removed the right hand part of the accompaniment, because now I want to play the melody. So I'm stuck on this note here, which is a D, and if I play with the wrong note, nothing's going to happen. But if I play the right note, it moves along. Okay, so here comes that count in again, and first note, see it on the score there, it's waiting for me, and I can see my red LED lights on the CSP, but you might not have that. But only when I play the right note. Get it wrong, if I get it wrong, nothing's happening. I play the right note, and each time I can stop and have a think, and the whole band is stopping and waiting for me. Okay, so the guide there is a really good option if you're right at the beginning, you're just learning to play, or it's for children, it's fantastic. And the CSP with the drop-down LED lights as well. I've seen people go from never having played a piano to actually engaging and participating with a full orchestral band, and it just lights up people's faces. It's such a clever device, and a modern way to sort of fuse modern technology with traditional piano playing. It's really wonderful. If you're interested in the CSP range, by the way, we've got extensive videos that talk all about that sort of stuff that you can see on our YouTube channel. Okay, so there's a few options for the guide as well that I want to go through. And I'm going to go up into the settings again on the top right of the screen. And what we've got in here, if I go to Playback, is it Playback? Yeah, that's right. So Playback at the top, and firstly, I'll start at the top, and this is specific to the CSP range with these stream lights, the LED lights that fall down above the keys. You can change them from, indeed you can disable them if you prefer, but you can change the speed that they fall down above the keys from slow to fast. Now by default it's set to fast, but having tinkered with this for a little bit now, I think slow is the best way to have this, because what happens is you've got longer to anticipate the next note as they fall down above the keys. So my advice would be set that to slow and try it, because it really works better, I think. The next one down is this guide type. And this is the interesting one, because by default it's going to be set to correct key, which means you have to play the correct key before the guide lets the music go on, as you've just seen demonstrated. But if we press correct key here, we've then actually got 4 options on here. This one, called any key, is a bit different, and the way this works is that it allows you to play any key on the piano. It doesn't have to be the right one, but what it's trying to teach you to do is to play it in time. So it's great, again, for complete beginners to get used to depressing the key at the right time. It sounds a bit like this. And you watch from the overhead shot that I'm playing any key. Okay, so it's slightly different, but if you're at that stage, just learning to depress the key at the right time with the right timing is going to be a useful skill to have. So that's quite a useful little device. The Karaoke is similar, I think, but it's, oh, actually, I've kind of forgotten what that one does. It's the same as any key, but playing the keys produces no sound. So it allows you to sing along with the song while controlling the playback by playing the keys. And the final setting is your tempo, which isn't really relevant for this song because it's quite a slow-paced song, but for faster ones, what happens is it won't totally stop and wait for you to play the right note, but what will happen if you miss your timing is the whole band will slow down and wait for you to play the note, and as you start getting your timing correct, the band will speed back up again. So it's quite a practical thing and works quite well. It's just a way of kind of easing you in to playing the music at the right speed. But generally speaking, correct key is probably the most simplistic way to use this. Okay, just coming back to this page where we can see the notation here, I want to draw your attention to the bottom of the screen, because we've got score just there, and that's the display we're seeing at the minute, showing us the musical score. But move along to the right and we've got chord, and if I press that one, you see it goes orange. This now shows me the chords in the song. And for those of you that play more of an accompanying pianist part rather than playing the melody, this is kind of interesting, because that's all you need to know is the chords in there. And what will happen when I press play is it will start cycling through, and it allows me to play like a traditional accompanying pianist along with the song while it plays the melody. Quick example. Okay, I think what I've done there is I need to put the right hand, you see where it says part on the bottom left there? If I put the right hand back in, then it will now play the melody while I accompany it, if you will, over the top. get carried away with that one. It's a lovely song, isn't it? Okay, so that's chord on the bottom, and lyrics. This is a good one as well, because rather like a karaoke machine, it's going to show you the lyrics of this song, and it'll go along. Okay, and you can see the lyrics sort of fading out as they go along, a bit like a karaoke machine. And indeed, if you've got the CSP range or the CLP as well, as CVP is 2, then you can plug a microphone in, of course, and sing along. Why not even output your iPad display or tablet display to your TV monitor and have the karaoke party that you've always been dreaming of? That's what this app is great for too. So, a couple of things about the chord and the lyrics in the settings is that I can go in. There's a few ways we can change the settings. If I go to score, I can actually get the chords and the lyrics superimposed just like that. So I can see both the notes, the chords and the lyrics all in one place. On the chords, I can go in and have on lyrics. So they're there as well, and indeed in lyrics I can go in and have the chords put in there too. So whichever way you like to read music and perform it, there's going to be an option in the settings. It's really quite deep and user-friendly, and the interface is very good too. So let's go back to the settings here on the left-hand side of the screen, the main sort of song controls, if you will. And what we have is the volume, and that's the volume of the whole song, by the way, in relation to the volume of the piano. So I could turn it all the way down and it'll sound like this. Okay, but obviously there's a big imbalance there, but you can blend it using that volume slider. Little tip for you, if you want to get it back to how it was, double tap it anywhere and it'll jump back to its default settings. The tempo, again, it's not really relevant for this song because it's like a slow tempo anyway, but if it's a faster song that you wanted to slow down because you're learning to play it, then you can indeed slide the tempo up and down and just gradually build it up to its written tempo. And the transpose is the final one, and this has a real practical purpose for when using it in karaoke mode, because if you're singing along but the register of the keys of the song is too high, you can transpose it by a semitone at a time, and it's actually changing the chords too there, but it'll change the whole projection, the playing of the song, so that you can hit those higher notes by lowering it down or vice versa. And again, double tap to return it to normal. So let's move on to, I'm going back to the main song library here on top left, where it actually says Hallelujah Leonard Cohen. If I press that, it returns us to our song library. And just a few basic things here. One is, do you see the star on the right hand side? The stars listed. Now those are our favorites. So if I press that, the little star, and now look at the top left hand side of the screen in our favorite section, that is going to make a shortened list of my favorite songs, so you don't have to keep going back and finding them in the subcategory at the far end of the menu. You can just put your favorites in there, and it's quite a collection on the CSP range just here. What I wanted to show you here was what I referred to before as possibly the best thing on this app, and it's the music library section. And unfortunately, because of the device I'm using, I haven't got a song I can show you, but this is what it does, and this is why it's so good. On your device at home, you might well have your own selection of songs that you've downloaded from iTunes or the Google equivalent, and they're there on your device. Now, this app will actually take your songs and it will analyze them, and even better than that, you can load them up and it will show you rudimentary notation on a score like this, and it will show you the chords as well. So it's a fantastic way of taking your own collection, your favorite songs, and loading them up within this app and using them with your piano, playing them through the speakers And indeed, if you're using CSP or the PS500, you're going to have those stream lights dropping down as well to actually show you how to play visually as well. I have a video that we'll put a link to in the description where I went into this in some detail of how to do it with my own personal iPhone with my own 90s retro music on there, where I did exactly that. Check it out because it's really, really good. I think it's one of the best things about this app, the way the technology can analyze the music and then show you the chords on it for how to play. It's really fantastic. User songs at the bottom, that's where we record your own songs, and that's just the final thing I wanted to show you today. Was if I wanted to record myself playing Hallelujah, what I would do is I'd load it up like this, and I'm going to go just here, use the slider on the top left to go back to the beginning, and then on the bottom left hand side of the screen, if we press this, this will allow us to record. But a little tip for you here is use channel number 2 to record. It might default to 1, but that's actually where the melody, this being a MIDI multi-recorded affair, use track number 2 for the piano, or for safety's sake, I sometimes just go to track 16. That's where I'm going to record my piano over the top of this song. Okay, and then when we're ready, we press record, it'll play the intro, and I'll play a little bit, and then we'll stop it and I'll show you how to save it. Okay, so I press stop on the bottom left there. I need to give it a name, and I'm going to just call it Chris, and then Hallie, because I can't remember how to spell hallelujah, and press save. And that'll save it onto the memory, where you can not only just play it back, but you can also share it by going to the song there. And indeed it's going to show me what I played as well, but you can go load up the song here in your user songs. There it is, Chris Hallie, and then press this one at the top left, and that's going to allow you to firstly save the recorded song. In this case it's MIDI, but you can do it audio as well. And indeed, if you were going to share it, this is another story by the way, by emailing it to someone or posting it on social media, it's better to do it in audio for reasons that will become apparent in the next video. But that's how you get it onto your device, and from your device you can then do what you like with it, can't you? Email it to your grandma or put it on social media or something like that. Okay, well that's been the song section here on the excellent Yamaha Smart Pianist app. I hope that's been useful and inspiring for you. If you're using this app and you've got this type of piano or one of the other models, I hope you can get on there and start learning to play, because that's what it's made for. And of course this app, it acts as a portal to what's up within your piano, so some models will have more songs than others. You can add and download new songs as well. But most of all, it's about being inspired to play, and I hope this video is helping you do that. If it has helped, press the thumbs up below the video. It really helps us as an independent store get seen here on YouTube. And make sure you join us for part 5, which is going to be all about the recording section on this app, because did you know you have a 16-track recorder built into this piano, which is a professional quality recording studio? So you can really get creative, and I'm going to go into how to do that, how to multi-track, how to mix, how to share your songs, how to change the instrumentation, all sorts. So join us in part 5. Thanks for your support so far, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.